Hi there BookTube, it's Janet and today I've got a book haul. Now I know I'm doing Shelf Slam. There have been certain rules, as in reading the books that you've got on your shelves and not buying books, but for some reason I've just gone a little bit off the rails lately and bought some books. Now this haul I'm going to show graphic novels that I've bought, and I'm actually not taking all the blame for this. I'm blaming himself. Because I recently took part in Getting Graphic. I was starting to run out of the graphic novels that I had on my shelf, so that's really good progress. And I was thinking, oh no, I really enjoy having a graphic novel every once in a while. So himself said, well, you know, when you get paid, why don't you treat yourself? And, you know, you can get more graphic novels then, and then you've always got something to read. So why, you know, you just spend about 100 quid and see how many you can get for that. So I did. So I'll show you what I've got. I got volumes 2 and 3 of Lady Mechanica. This is by Joe Benitez, and this was, I read the first volume of this as part of Getting Graphic and absolutely loved it. It's steampunk and it's all about this fabulous character, Lady Mechanica, who is part human but also has some adaptations, and the clothes and the fashion in it are gorgeous and the artwork is absolutely stunning. So I just had to carry on with the series, because that's one thing I suppose with Shelf Slam. If we're not buying any books and there are books in series, then it's, if you're really enjoying it, and you should be, you know, allowed to enjoy books, and that's the whole point of reading, and you want to carry on with the series, then I don't feel too bad about getting a book and reading it and enjoying it and carrying on. Next one I've got to show you is Fun Home. And this is by Alison Bechdel, and this is a graphic memoir about a time growing up with quite a tyrannical father who, part of the time he was an English teacher and part of the time he ran the family funeral business, and he was very, very pernickety, and he was obsessive about doing this house up and expected everybody else to be involved in it too. And it turns out that he had quite a secret life, in that he was a gay man and he'd had some relationships with some of his students. I've already read this and it actually was a bit of a letdown for me. I was expecting more from it and I was a bit disappointed. The next one I've got to show you is Bloodstain Volume 2 by Linda Sedgwick, and this is the wife of Stepan Sedgwick, who writes Sunstone, and I bought the first volume of this and absolutely loved it. It's got some of the tropes, as in there's a mad scientist and professor, but it isn't what you expect it to be. You're thinking, all right, it's going to go down one route, and it's just not. And it's quite funny and it's irreverent, and I absolutely loved it. So I really wanted to carry on with the series. So this is why I've got volume 2. Next, I've also got another volume 2, and that's volume 2 of Trees by Warren Ellis. Again, for Getting Graphic, I read the first volume of this, and although it didn't blow me away, it felt like it was setting the scene for things to happen. Basically, there's been these massive giant trees that have been growing over the planet for about 10 years, but they've never done anything. But people have been studying them, and then obviously we get to the point where things are starting to happen. So there was quite a lot of the background work in volume 1, and I was quite intrigued to see where it was going to go. So I wanted to carry on with the series to see what was going to happen. So I got volume 2. Next, I got Rat Queens volume 2 and 3, because again I read volume 1 of Rat Queens and I absolutely loved it. This is by Curtis J. Wiebe. And this just follows a group of irreverent females who are sort of like vigilantes who go on quests, and it's just funny, it's a riot, it's quite grisly, but I just loved it. I love the characters in it, and so I wanted to carry on, so I got them, and I did. Next I got volume 2 of Giant Days, and this is John Allison, Lisa Tremaine and Max Sarin. And this, it's quite different, this one. It follows a group of girls who are away at uni for the first time in the UK, and it's just lovely, and there are a few more volumes of this to come. I think it's getting up to volume 5 soon, so I absolutely love the first volume. It was something really refreshing, and so obviously I wanted to carry on with that. Next, I bought the Encyclopedia of Early Earth by Isabel Greenberg, and Eleanor bought me a while back the follow-up book to this, which is called 100 Nights of Hero. Couldn't remember what it was called, and she recommended that you read this first, so obviously I had to get it, and it's just something I've wanted to read for ages, and I do believe that the artwork in it is absolutely stunning. So I'm quite keen to read that one. All of these graphic novels I actually shopped around for, and although they are new, if you sort of shop around you can actually get them a lot cheaper, because they can be quite expensive, but I think if you appreciate the amount of work that goes into producing them, you understand the cost of them. But if you do shop around you can actually get more for your money. The next one I've got to show you is Ermina, and this is by Barbara Yellin, and this is set in the 1930s, and this follows Ermina, who's an ambitious student. I'll just read you, I may as well just read you the back actually. In the mid-1930s, Ermina, an ambitious young German, moves to London. At a cocktail party she meets Howard Green, one of the first black students at Oxford, who like Ermina is working towards an independent existence. However, their relationship comes to an abrupt end when Ermina, constrained by the political situation in Hitler's Germany, is forced to return home. As war approaches and her contact with Howard is broken, it becomes clear to Ermina that prosperity will only be possible through the betrayal of her ideals. And this it's just my kind of thing. I love historical fiction, but I love things to do with the war, and this has just got a beautiful colour palette. It's sort of soft and muted, but yeah, so I'm quite keen to read that one. It's just a beautiful produced naked hardback. Next I've got to show you is Adventure Time Volume 1, and this is by quite a few people I believe, and I saw this on Caitlin's wrap up of Getting Graphic, and she seemed to absolutely love it. She said it was an absolute hoot. Now I've never heard of it. Apparently is there a TV series about it or something? I don't know. And she just thought it was really funny, so I thought, well, I'm going to give that a go and just see what I think of it. I think there's quite a lot of volumes of this out, so I don't know much about it and I'm not really too bothered. I'm just going to give it a go and see what happens. And then the next one I've got is also one I saw on, and I can't remember if it was Eleanor's or Caitlin's wrap up of Getting Graphic, but this is Page by Page by Laura Lee Guledge. And this I think is YA, so I'll tell you a little bit about what it says on the back. Everyone sees a quiet redhead who draws things, but when I close my eyes I'm laughing and screaming and scheming and daydreaming. New York City, new friends, new Paige. When Paige's parents move her family from Virginia to New York City, Paige doesn't know where she fits in anymore. At first the only thing keeping her company is a notebook, where she pours her worries and observations and experiments with her secret identity, artist, written in capital letters. With the confidence the book brings her, she starts to make friends and shake up her family's expectations. But is she ready to become the person she draws in her notebook? I'm quite keen, and this is sort of like all monochrome as well, so I'm quite keen to see what that one's all about, so I'll give that one a go. And then the final one I've got to show you is Volume 5 of Sunstone by Stepan Sejic. I love this series, and this is actually quite a thick volume. Normally they're only about 128 pages, and this is a lot thicker, so it almost seems like there's 2 or 3 in one for this. So, and I did actually get it at a relatively good price, and again you can see the artwork in these is absolutely beautiful, and this follows a lesbian relationship and explores BDSM and sort of demystifies the image that it has of being something quite seedy and unpleasant, and so yeah, it's absolutely beautiful. It's beautifully drawn and I really like it. I just like the characterizations, I like the relationship that's portrayed between the characters, and so that's it. So that's it for my graphic novel haul. Let me know if you've read any of these or if you've got anything that you recommend. I will see you all soon. Keep reading. Bye!